Are we doing this in English?
I think so, aren't we?
Is it going to be awkward?
Maybe, probably, likely. It's gonna be awkward. I was
Is it
thinking
just
like I've always thought of myself as like my English being quite good, but then it just hit me like I always thought of my like cooking being quite good until I found out that I was shit.
how did you
So
find out that you're shit at cooking?
yeah, I did, and
How
then
did
I
you find
just
out?
didn't. I guess I married my wife, and then
You never
she.
tasted other people's food before that.
That's it. That's it. And she's really good at it, and she always was. And then she cooked for like 10 years of our relationship, and then suddenly she said, like, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm done. And so this was like a year ago, almost February, March, or something like that. And I just took over, like from one day to the other, and I had to start, like, I had to learn. So, so I've only been cooking for like 8 months,
That's like
but it's going well. It's
that's
really fun.
better
Like
than a divorce, for
I really
sure.
like it now. It's really fun.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay. So we
but I
do
think my
this in
English could
English
be the
and
same. That I'm like always thought that I was good at it, but then sometimes always also I would like hit a missing word. I'm sure you know the feeling. Like, oh, if this was just in Danish, I know exactly the word, but
but I just thought about that. I think that's going to be basically that's going to be our shtick for this podcast is like thick accents, like weird Danish references that no one except the Danish listeners will get.
yeah,
Um,
maybe we just keep the
lots of
Danish
like
name.
Danish place names,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
I think that's fine because the people were talking about how they wanted to use AI and stuff to try to listen to this podcast, and I think that's worse
Oh
objectively.
yeah, must be. Yeah,
So this is better. We won't go
we're
back and
the
dub all the old episode, I think, but
No, I
we'll
think
pivot.
I've been naming them like TV series, like S1, E1. So
Yeah,
this is just S2, the beginning of S2, and people will know that S1 is for the folks dedicated enough to learn Danish to enjoy it.
if we get a really dedicated listenership, we could just slowly switch out more and more English words with Danish, and then in like 3 years we're back at Danish, and everyone will understand.
It's like a sneaky Duolingo kind of service thing. We're
That'll be funny.
the Borgen of building.
Yeah, exactly. Um, fun. So, do you think we should do like a 5 second, maybe 10 second introduction,
Probably,
or
yeah.
just like some like, well, at least if it's a new season.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. This is what you missed on Ude på noget.
Yeah, and we also need a new name. Oh, dude, there's so much stuff we need.
Yeah, out on something is not gonna
Up to
work.
something could work.
Up to something, yeah, probably, yeah, maybe up to
Yeah,
something.
I think half
I
of
don't
the
know.
references or the jokes I'm gonna make are gonna be for the julekalender, which is so I'll just explain it now. There's a Danish like Christmas TV show with these Christmas elves that
From like
speak
'92, something like that.
right, something like that. Yeah, they speak a mix of Danish and English, and it's really funny. So like every other word is English and every other word is Danish, and it's mostly funny if you're Danish, of course.
It's
But
very
it's sort of how
culture
it's my
canon
it,
by now.
it's
Like everyone knows it, remembers it.
right. It's very like cult status, and it's sort of my mental model for this podcast now, because our podcast was already a bit of a shit show.
What do you
Just let's
mean?
just be honest. This is not a streamlined production.
I'm doing my best, Peter.
That's why I started a new podcast with someone else.
Let's make one where we
The
actually
Take It
make an
Seriously
effort.
podcast.
Yeah. Okay. It's fair.
Yeah. So at this point, people are probably still thinking that we are the same person, because
Yeah.
that's sort of the feedback we always get. But it is actually two different people talking to each other.
Yes. I
So do you
wore
want
a
to say who you
different color shirt today.
Oh yeah, right. But yeah, I think you could just take off your sweater and it'd be the same.
How much do you want me to take off?
just a maximum one layer.
Okay. Okay, but do you want to start with the introduction round?
Yeah, okay. So my name is Peter. I worked on a startup about a year ago that I sold called Reform, which is I think why half people follow me on Twitter because they're following that stuff. And
they
now
thought you were signing up for something else on a Reform.
yeah. Now my main gig is helping out my friend Adam over at Tailwind Labs. Basically doing all the stuff that's not building Tailwind CSS or Tailwind UI. Just make sure everyone else has as much time as possible to do that. So I do a lot of like administration, operations kind of things, all the stuff that no one else wants to do. And then I recently started getting more into like side projects and stuff like that. And that's sort of the journey that we're documenting in this podcast. So earlier in the year, I did a writing habit guide, and the latest thing was a social sharing image tool for like OG images and Twitter cards called socialcardcreator.com. And so just sort of like trying to get back into that groove again after stopping to work on Reform last year and just working at Tailwind Labs for the past few years, actually. Just trying to like sort of like get into the indie hacking stuff again.
Did you feel the builder's itch, I guess?
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know, like the need to
definitely
go
have
build
a lot
something.
of itching this time of year.
yeah, no, it's a good thing.
Yeah. Okay.
But did you like feel like you had to go back and build something? It was like an urge?
I was worried that I was gonna like. I just felt like this AI wave like flush over everything, and just like being stressed out about like just being like decoupled from being someone who could like ship a product. And I was recently just reminded how hard it is. Like even if it's like a very limited feature set, like shipping an actual product with like, you know, payments and terms and like literally all this stuff, it's just so much, and it's a hard skill. And actually it's not a lot of people can do it. I think as a single person, it's a special skill, and I didn't want to lose that skill. I wanted to maintain that skill, and I want to embrace the whole AI thing. Like I know a ton of people that have wanted to ship products, but they never finish because they realize it's not just like creating the feature. It's also like recording a video of themselves and putting themselves out there and figuring out legal things or like payment related BS they need to deal with. And yeah, so I feel really almost relieved that I'm still able to do it, and I want to keep doing it so I can get better at it and do it even more.
And when you say AI, you don't mean like building products that build on AI. You mean using AI as a tool to build things.
Yeah, that's sort of my. It's both what scared me for like, you know, about just not being up to speed with everything, but it's also what's allowed me to ship something without, you know, being like super into coding anymore. Like, so using AI, to ship stuff and write all the gnarly stuff that all the React stuff I don't even want to learn, you know. Has been a theme stuff here. Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah, so that's me.
Well, I'm Mikkel, and I.
You're a Mikkel.
Yeah, I am a Mikkel. It's
plenty of them
and
here.
I go by Mikkel on Twitter. Someone once thought it was pronounced like Micah, but it isn't.
Yeah. No.
So now I know.
Because I know several Mikkel, and I also have Niklas. Tobias thought there was one guy called Mikkel and another guy called Nickel. Tobias is my son.
So I'm Mikkel, and I've also been like working as a programmer for many years, and on the side have built sort of a Danish Patreon service called Tenor, tenor.com, and a few other things on the side. But Tenor has been going like fine, and just like the graph is going up and to the right, and it's slowly rising, but it hasn't gone all the way to a point where I can just like quit everything and focus solely on that. And I've always also been hesitant to like seek investments or all that, because I just didn't want to be on the hook, I guess, for making it into a unicorn. So that's like my position is that I have a thing and it's profitable and it's growing, but it isn't like explosive. And I've been like trying a little bit to get it into the outside world, but I haven't landed any projects outside of Denmark yet. And maybe I should start trying at some point. But I've been distracted by another project that I'm working on right now, actually, which is a Nitro kit. I'm a big believer in and fan of and user of Ruby on Rails for building stuff. I think it's the best I don't know, framework or like tool to just get going quickly. And I also feel like it's like a big reason that I could even build something like Tenor, which is like a complex beast at this point, is because I have Ruby on Rails and all the benefits that come with it. But Rails has like a lot built in. But one thing that it doesn't have that gnarly React has is like a UI kit or framework or like just a bunch of tools. I recently helped a friend build their React website, and they were using ShatCN UI, which I'm sure if you know React, you've at least heard about it. And I really found the model of like generating components and then just like taking them over, modifying them if you wanted to, because the trouble with using UI kits, I think, historically, has been that you don't want to look like the UI kit, so you end up modifying it. And this is the genius behind Tailwind UI, for example, as well. That you don't get Tailwind UI as a dependency, you just copy the thing and then as a starting point, and you get all the, I don't know, you get a great starting point, and then you can modify it to look as you want. But Rails is missing this, I feel. And quite a few people actually right now are building UI kits or something like it for Rails. But none of them were like the right, it's not the right white t-shirt. It's like there's something slightly off. So I thought I had a few ideas, and then I just one day started. And actually I spoke to Jose from 37 Signals, and he sort of asked me, I don't know if this is public knowledge, I'm sure not, but here we go. He asked me one day if I wanted to partner on something like what I thought was something like a Nitro kit has become, but it ended up like there was like no beef, but we I think it turned out that we were not agreeing on what it should be, and then he had something else come up. But I thought like I've already started here, just fuck it, let's go. And I just went with it. So I'm pretty far with it, and I think my introduction round has to stop now. And if I need to, I have more things to say about it. But I guess that's where I am. Also, I live in Denmark, like you do, Peter, and I live in a city called Aalborg. It's in the other end. Yeah, I have 3 kids and a wife and a house. Yeah,
the Paris of the North.
Yeah, that's what we ironically call it.
That's what all the people from there call it.
yeah. But I think it was like a joke at first. But
and then people didn't know that it was a joke.
yeah. I think it's like
it's from a rap song or something.
When you sort of try to own a joke to make it not a joke, but real. So now we're like the Paris of the North, which we really aren't. But still, it's a nice place. Yeah.
Yeah, I live in the middle of nowhere.
But closer to Copenhagen.
Like a 45-minute train ride.
Yeah.
So that's not very far.
That's not very far, but like, I don't know if I should just keep going with my building update.
Do it.
So this is what we usually do on the podcast. We just like ask each other, what have you been doing this past weekend?
What have you
What are
been
you
up
going to
to?
do
It does
next?
kind of works with that name in English.
It's like a sprint meeting, but
Yeah,
but but,
but no
but everyone
accountability
gets to be
whatsoever.
bored. um, yeah, so I'm down to just the date picker missing from the originally promised basic set. So my my approach is that I want to make a whole bunch of like a almost complete UI kit for all the things that you always want for a website app. I guess like a combo box and some like a pagination component and a basic table and all that you like always are gonna need at some point. So all the basics are free and open source, and those are almost done. I just need the date picker. I think that I need that too. Maybe I'll chicken out and skip it, but yeah, that's at least the plan for now. And then I need to get the docs page up to speed. So yesterday I spent some time on like thinking about what elements does a docs page include, like what attributes does the component have, and you should probably say that it's like it has a stimulus JavaScript component as well, controller as well. And I think that's done. And then I did a trial run. I have a fun idea for like an intro video. DHH, David Heinemeier Hansen, also a Dane. We should get him on at some point. He famously made Ruby on Rails alone at first, but like of course many people have contributed now. But he does these videos like 15-minute introduction to the framework videos. And he recently did one, and in that one he sort of skips pretty quickly over all the UI parts because there's no generic story for Rails right now. And I wanted to like take a short clip of David's video and then just like interrupt him and say, "Stop there, David. I got you," or something like that. And then take the project that he builds in that video and then slowly integrate NitroKit into that. So like saying, okay, so we did this part. We of course need like to show some Flash notification messages, and then do it with the NitroKit and show how easy it is. And yeah, I think that's some
fun idea.
That's some fun lore to build on, because everyone in Rails has seen that video, I guess. So I did that, a trial run, not recording anything, just like adding the things that I thought I would want to add, and also recreating what he did in his video. And already like the first one, I found like 8, 9, 10 things that I wanted to improve. So I think that's going to be the loop in the following weeks, to just like do speed runs on that particular idea, and then finding all the hard hitches, I guess, and then eventually recording that video. And then that's the plan. I'm also starting to think like I need some. This is a recurring theme in my work life, is that I need some project management software tool. Like I start investigating like opening Linear, then not doing anything, but just like opening it and just almost ready to dive in, but then thinking, I should just use Notion. Then I open Notion as like, it's too complicated. Then I open Things and it's like, but this isn't like, this doesn't have a Kanban board. And then I open like Obsidian and thinking, look, this is like too far off, and or the purity scale. So I don't know, man. It's just like I've never found the right tool. Yeah, so that's like I think that's an open question.
Yeah, it's a very open question. What's gonna happen?
Yeah. Do you
Will
need
Mikkel
it?
build
I
a
mean, like, if
project
you're just
management system?
one person, do you need a project management tool? And then
Well, you need to
again,
build one yourself.
oh, that's the one. Yeah. Okay. I I thought I had it easy, but I need to build a project management tool now.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I like stuff like, GitHub projects or just a Notion page or something like that for my own stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I've found is
Trello.
that
I used Trello on the last project that I kind of. It's actually still pretty good.
yeah. I mean, Trello could be just like regular post-it notes on a board, and that works as well. So no reason to make it more fancy than it needs to be. But it's just what I've found is that when I don't have a plan, if I don't sit down, make a plan, and then act on it, I'm just totally driven by my own, what is it, like, my attention, and that's that can work while it's naturally focused on the thing that I need to do, but when it isn't, it's just like nothing gets done.
Do you want to know my framework?
Yes.
I've been using it for a while. It works well with my
spoken about
neurodivergence.
Oh yeah.
Self-diagnosed. Yeah, but basically, either Sunday night or Monday morning, I write down in Reflect. I use Reflect notes. I think I'm going to switch totally to Obsidian soon, actually, because I really like Obsidian.
It's the same concept, right? Graph notes.
This is the proof that I have ADHD. That I start talking about one thing and it's just like switch topics. My wife and I was joking the other day because we sat down to make our like meal plan for the week. And then literally we saw a bird outside and we just completely forgot what we were doing. And we just started talking about birds and like looking up birds and phone.
Yeah.
So write down my priorities for the week. And they're sort of based on just like what's top of mind, what I know I need to do with like, Tailwind stuff. And also like in my, I use Todoist for tasks. So I also check that. And then every morning before I work, I look at the priorities and I make a list, even the stuff that I do every day, like check my email, everything I just added to a list, and I check Todoist and I copy the stuff from Todoist as well and make a new list and Reflect, and sort of just like the what's the word? See, that's how it happened. I couldn't remember the word.
Say it in Danish and we'll all learn something.
Yeah, sitting down and like writing down everything just really works for me. And then I want to complete those tasks, and they feel like they matter because they've been added like 2 or 3 times now. They've been sort of like recommitted to 2 or 3 times. So that's my very simple system, and it sort of works. And then in Tailwind, we also write, beginning of the week, we write what we want to do. And then at the end of the week, we write what we did, what we got done that week. And hopefully there's some overlap. We also technically do one in the middle of the week, but people just, in the past few months, people just sort of stopped doing the middle update.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I casually mentioned to Adam the other day that, I think I forgot to do my middle update. And I hadn't realized that I was the only one doing it still. And he's like, oh, midweek update? Dude, I haven't done one for years. And I thought it was so funny.
The Midwit update.
The Midwit update, yeah, for real. Yeah, so those things together sort of help me keep doing stuff I want to do.
Yeah. It's just like when I do things like that, because I've had systems like that. I also had like a recurring to do in things, like a recurring project almost. So every day I had like check email, check whatever.
Yeah, I have that too, but I still copy it over just to like sort of commit to it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Anyway, it like those systems also hit a wall of like when I'm no longer interested in them, like when it is natural, I just sort of stop doing it. So it's just like.
Do you think there is a solution?
I've almost come to a point where I'm just like giving up on trying to control my attention because I can't anyway. So I just lean in when it's onto something, and then
You just need a system until you're post-economic.
is this the accounting software you're talking about?
No, you just need a system to keep you accountable until you have enough money that you don't need to do
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
in particular.
Yeah, but I had that for a few years, and that also didn't feel too nice.
The NFT era.
Yeah. But like, I actually wrote a reply to a tweet the other day from Nicholas, a common friend, where he asked for like advice on going indie while also being a parent. And I wrote something like the worst part of it is like the best times are the ones where I plan and do things and actually get shit done, and the worst times are the ones where I don't, and I can sort of I've sometimes slacked like a whole day until the like last 1 or 2 hours before the kids get home, and then panicking because I also want to feel like I did something that day. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just need to grab myself by the I don't know, back here and pull me into a project management tool and see,
Maybe
and use it here.
maybe that stuff is just not important.
I don't know. Like, that's the other side of it. Giving up and just going with my attention where it points naturally. It's gone well so far.
Yeah, I think the test is whether you launch Nitro Kit before you start building a project management software.
Oh yeah, that's it. I think what's carried me this far is that I also get a huge like kick from actually shipping. So shipping is the reward. We've spoken about this before in Danish, but to me, like when I get to tweet the thing, that's the actual reward. So I'm trying to work in public, but still don't launch anything too early, like calling it a launch too early, because that's my reward at the end. That I can say, okay, everyone, it's finally done, and then crickets. But still, like only internally, it works that I have this carrot dangling, which is the putting something out and saying, "Hey, everyone, look at me." That's the carrot.
I think the, one thing I've sort of learned from working with Adam is like having a to-do that's like vague, or that's like, today I'm gonna work on something, is like demotivating.
Yeah.
But if you like shipping, it's like your to-do list should be like, okay, my goal today is to ship this thing, like, and I'm gonna cut scope until like the only goal is to like find a way to ship this today. Then it gets more exciting. It feels like.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a way to sort of attach like the dopamine of shipping something to like checking something off your to-do list.
I need
and
to
it like starts to feel good.
Fancy checkboxes that like spray confetti everywhere and play my favorite song or something.
Yeah, I mean the solution really is to build a project management system for yourself.
So circling back to what we were talking about. Yeah, I guess so. And also like committing to it is also a thing. Like if you put it on the to-do list, it gets done. Like you can't pass it.
But I think that's where we're different, because like
days.
I'm so stressed out if I don't have a list. Like I'm completely helpless and I'm paralyzed. So I don't have a problem committing to it because I need it. Like I can't relax until I have the list. So I think that's maybe where we're different. It's not maybe hard for me to like do the list because I'm like stressed out until I know what's on the list. Because I'm stressed about like missing something important someday.
That's
so
where
mine
we're different.
is more like anxiety fueled.
Complete like a bad conscience. I can ignore my email inbox for weeks.
Yeah, I can't. I have a hard time ignoring it through the night. You know,
like right now it's a mess. I have to go in there, and then always when I like actually sit down and do it, it takes half an hour. It's so dumb that I keep putting it off, but it's just when I'm onto something else, I can barely take the thought of just like having to go through it. It's just, I don't want to do it. I don't know. All right. So, do you have any updates on the stuff that you've been building?
Well, it's sort of been derailed a little bit this week because the whole family has been sick since. Well, I
Again?
was on a really good shipping spree, I feel like, because I launched the social car creator thing last week, and I did the video and tweeted it out, and got my something to celebrate. Got my first 3 customers. Very nice feeling to have customers again. I don't know if they're technically customers yet because it takes 7 days to convert.
Oh,
But at
so it's
least one person started using it on his website, so that's nice. And yeah, but then I was going to that Christmas party that I talked about last week on Friday. That got canceled because our oldest son was sick, and yeah, over the weekend I had to go to the doctor, the hospital, and they found out he had pneumonia.
oh
And the
no,
other
man.
kid, when he was starting to get better, the other kid was really sick, and he's still sick and had a high temperature. Wife got sick, of course, and now it's just me waiting for my turn. I sort of like feel it coming a little bit, but you never know if you're gonna dodge it or not. But I'm probably in for a little ride, I guess, since everyone else was so sick.
Yeah. This is also the season of always feeling like it's right around the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, I told my wife this morning, I'm like, my throat is itching, but I can't tell if it's like I'm getting sick throat or it's like I ate too many chili nuts last night.
The chili nuts.
I love chili nuts.
Yeah. All right. But
So
does your
good.
body agree on your love for chili nuts?
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. So yeah, it's been a hell of a week actually. Today is the first day that the oldest one is back in kindergarten. So I've basically mostly only done Tailwind stuff, the stuff I had to do. So I haven't been shipping a whole lot. But yeah, I guess I have a few updates. So I got those 3 customers. That felt great. And it sort of it motivated me to spend some more time on the app. Like I still don't think this is like a great business opportunity, but I still think it's like fun to chase something that people like. Like people think it's a nice little app, and it's just sort of like it's very understandable. Like it's or like people can look at it and it's like it has like a very limited scope, and I think people like that. It's like a cute little app in a sense. Um, and I think that's like it's a fun thing to work on because it's like limited scope. But yeah, but it's also too limited right now, right? It's like this one design for how the social card can look.
Mhm.
So that's like the only feature request. The main feature request is like people wanted to look different or have more options or more templates. Um, so that's the next thing I want to work on. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like just like shelve it for a bit or work more on it, but seeing people be into it gave me a lot of motivation just to spend more time on it. That's sort of like the mentality I have is like right now I'm like not trying to start my next company or anything like that. I'm just trying to like improve my shipping muscle, work on my shipping muscle. And part of that is like iterating on something and taking in user feedback and building stuff and shipping fast. And so I'm kind of and the way the app is built right now is like the fastest way I could ship something. So in order to did I cut out? That's the another thing about this podcast. My internet will die at least one time during the episode.
It's tradition.
Yeah, it's a Danish tradition. But yeah, so I need to refactor basically everything around like how templates and stuff works, which is fine. That was sort of a calculated decision to take on that debt just to like ship something fast. And I feel like the releasing it into the world sort of told me, yeah, you need to do a bit more. It needs to do a bit more before it like feels more complete. So I'm excited to work on that. I just haven't had time to do it.
Do you want to eventually have like a theme builder thing? Or like
Potentially,
custom
yeah.
something?
Yeah, I definitely want to like push the limits to like how simple it can be and like how much you can just do via the URL. Like I love the URL as like the way that you
Yeah,
change the templates.
it's also like inherently casual.
Yeah. But like for example, Jesper, who listens to the podcast, was one of the people who bought it. Thank you. And he wanted the padding to be different and maybe the back. I can't remember if it's him who wanted a different background color. But like that's totally doable. From like you could have that in the URL somehow.
Yeah.
Sort of overwrite those things.
Mm.
The other thing is like another person who bought it was Ian Lansman. He tweeted about it as well, which was very nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he was the first one who bought it.
What is it? The grandfather of Laravel?
The Godfather.
The Godfather? Grandfather?
Yeah, he was the sugar daddy. I don't know.
The sugar daddy of Laravel. Okay.
He hired Taylor Otwell very early on to work on Laravel because he wanted to use Laravel for his company.
Yeah, it's fun. I guess these early believers. I guess Toby from Shopify or something like that.
He was their early believer
in Rails. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was cool. I don't really know him except like from Twitter, and I've listened to his he used to have a podcast called Bootstrap.fm or Bootstrapped.fm, I think, with a guy called Andre Butov, I think. Yeah, Andre at least. And it was one of my favorite podcasts back when it was going. Now he's doing a podcast with Aaron Francis, mostly technical, which is a really good podcast as well. Yeah, he bought it. And he wanted to use it for the new, I think, Userscape, his company's website. And right now, it's like only really meant for like a blog or something. It's just like very focused on like that's why the only template that's there right now is called Prose, because I wanted to say that it's sort of like for writing articles and stuff. And
it's a good name.
And it's kind of stolen from Tailwind, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, he wanted one that's like. He needed a different variant basically for like more like pages where it's like there's not an author necessarily. It's more like maybe a logo and a title. And I think it could like either I just need more templates or maybe variants. Like maybe sometimes you don't have an author and you want the design to be slightly different. But yeah, so that was cool. Yeah, I don't really have many other updates. I also ran into some issues with Lemon Squeezy that I just feel obligated to mention here, just because
another tradition.
Another tradition. No, I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to like be the pro Lemon Squeezy guy. That's why I decided to use it. And I really liked the experience of like integrating it into the app. It was like that's why I used it, because there's a almost first party Laravel package to use Lemon Squeezy, and so it's like. It took like half an hour to get it set up, which was a very nice experience. And with any other provider, I think it would just take much more work. So that experience is nice, and the design and stuff with Lemon Squeezy is really nice too. But yeah, they have had some bad PR, I guess, on Twitter, which is something we sort of talked about a bit here as well. I ran into a really annoying issue, and I'm not sure, like, it's been almost a week now, and they haven't gone back to me about it. They've told me that they're looking at it, but they haven't told me what's going on yet. But yeah, basically, like, I got 3 sales, right? And for each of the sales, you get 4 webhooks when you get a new subscription. And then specifically one of them is called Subscription Created, and their own library for Laravel uses that subscription created webhook to create the subscription in your Laravel app. But for the 3rd sale, that webhook wasn't triggered. So like obviously my thinking is like I had an exception in my app, or like I didn't catch it somehow. Like that's what you would expect. So I started investigating that. I just couldn't understand why. But like, so the result was like someone bought it, but then they still couldn't access anything because they still didn't have a subscription. So like,
man.
Dude, I just put in my credit card and everything, but it's not working. So it's like sort of like a bad start to the relationship.
Like already the 3rd one fails.
Like, yeah, but then I looked into Lemon Squeezy. Like
10,000, you could like justify it somehow, but
yeah. So I looked in the Lemon Squeezy app, and on the webhooks for that specific customer, there's only 3 webhooks. So it's on their end that they didn't send it. And it just doesn't really make sense to me how it's not even like there's not even like a failed attempt. It's just not there. It's non-existent. And I Googled it Googled it and I searched on Twitter and like there's other people who had the same experience, but then some people said that it just came later. So I told the guys it'll probably like come within the next hour or something, but I'll check, but it never came. So I had to manually create the subscription in my app, but to do that, I wanted to make sure that I had all the right IDs and stuff, so it would work, with the next webhook when it's like I want to make sure that it's still like sort of like connected to Lemon Squeezy, even though I created the subscription manually, like so he can still like cancel and stuff, see his billing in for whatever. So that was a little annoying, and I don't really like. I'm curious to see what they say because it's like I don't know. It's a little terrifying if you can't count on that stuff.
Yeah, it's unusual,
and it's going to be annoying if I get more customers. If you can't kind of webhook.
Yeah,
and I think it's like even worse if someone cancels and you don't get the webhook, just because it's even if it cancels it on their end, it just like seems like you didn't take their like I don't know. So we'll see. I'm still waiting for them to get back to me.
Did you see Gumroad tweeted out that they are now merchant of record? And I was immediately like, what?
Haven't they always been that?
Weren't you always that? Yeah. And then I clicked through to the comments and everyone was like, wait, what were you before?
Yeah.
I didn't read the article. It was just like, what?
So they weren't paying taxes on behalf of people before?
Maybe not. I don't know. Like,
that makes no sense.
If it was me, I would have probably not announced it like that. Just silently started
12
to
years in,
live up to the laws. So weird.
I didn't see that. That's very strange.
Yeah, my plan is to use Pedal for NitroKit when I get so far.
I think for my next, so one of the reasons I want to use Lemon Squeezy is because that's the other thing I've been talking about in this podcast is a while back I set up my own sort of starter kit with Laravel, Tailwind's Catalyst, React library, and
Gnarly React.
And I'm sort of like, as part of like, I want to be like faster at like shipping products. I want to have my own personal sort of starter kit. So I'm trying to like test all the different tools to like find out which ones I like. And part of it was testing Lemon Squeezy, and I'm not sure it's like going to be the one I use for all my apps, if I'm honest right now. I'm going to try some other ones.
Yeah.
That is basically where I'm at right now, because it's just like it just sucks, with a webhook like that. It's just that's part of the problem. Yeah, I don't know. I like Lemon Squeezy. I like the people behind Lemon Squeezy a lot, and I want to like use it and stuff. But at the same time, I just want to make sure that it sort of is the right choice for my app. So I'm still testing it, I guess, and we'll see. We'll see where I land. It would be nice to hear back with a good explanation.
Yeah, maybe send you a webhook.
Yeah.
All right. So, how's everyone?
Yeah, I was one more thing actually. A fun thing happened.
Better now? Sorry, go ahead.
There was another fun thing that happened because I launched the app, and someone signed up, and then he came back the next day, but he forgot his password. So he's trying to reset his password, but he kept getting 500 errors. And he's like, I think email stuff is broken. And immediately he's like, oh, there's no email stuff. Because I have completely forgotten about emails for this app. Because in my app, it didn't need to send emails. Because I didn't even think about it.
And it's the green path.
Yeah. So I was like, damn, I completely forgot about that. And it was on the weekend or something. So I posted in our Telegram group. I think, by the way, the Telegram group should just keep being Danish. If we want an English one, we do a different one.
Yeah.
Because I really like the Telegram group. So I posted there, like, what are we using for email these days? And it's not Postmark anymore. So I signed up for Resend, which has like it comes bundled sort of in integration with Laravel. So all you need to do is put in resend key in your Laravel config, and it just works. And so the only thing I needed to do was like validate my domain name on resend.
Nice.
And then I emailed the guy back, and I was like, "Oh, sorry, I screwed up something, but it should be working now."
So
like,
already
great, thanks.
talking to support.
Yeah.
All
So
the shiny new
there was
services.
there was definitely a reason why it wasn't working, and it was definitely my fault.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still using Postmark.
Yeah.
They were
We'll
better
see
than
how long
Mailgun when I switched. So we'll
I've
see
always
how
used
far it
Mailgun,
goes.
been happy with it, but I've never had like a high volume or anything with it.
I don't either. It's just something that you just want it to work. I use an uptime monitor as well called, what is it, updown.io. And I've been using it for years. And I basically only ever see it when it messages me on Telegram that something is down. And then shortly before my tokens or whatever it's called, like my credits it's called, about to run out. It's using like a credit system. I was thinking actually you could do something like that for your payment, whatever offering, on Social Card Creator, because it's just so. It just feels nice that you're just paying for what you use. There's no like timed.
The problem with something like that is
subscription.
People are worried that people are going to generate images on their behalf or something like that.
Yeah, but
they're going to get
it. That's a good worry. That is a real worry.
Yeah, but it should be my worry, not their worry. You know.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah. Speaking of productivity software, did you see I had a new new product idea?
Oh yeah. What was it? Email tasks?
No, there was like the thing is like I have all these tabs open because and I copy recurring task over into it's the same problem actually into Reflect every day because I'm worried about forgetting to do stuff. And so I thought like, what if I just take all the stuff that I need to do in a day and have it in a list?
Chores.
And I have like, I call it linkchore.com. Because
that was interesting to take like the negative connotation chore.
Yeah, I tried to find a positive version of like, fuck, I was just going to embrace the negativity in this one.
Yeah.
Because I think of it as chores in a sense. It's like taking out the trash and stuff. I don't hate doing it. It's fine. It's like, but it's a bit of a chore sometimes. But yeah, so basically it will show me that list of links. And then for each link, I sort of define how often I want to do it. And then if I haven't done it for long enough, instead of a little green indicator, it starts becoming yellow and then red if I'm behind. And then if you hover, it also tells you the last time you clicked that link. Mm-hmm. So like if I haven't checked my email for like a day, it'd probably be red. And I'd be like, my brain would want that little thing to be green. So I would click to check my email if there's anything important in there.
It's pretty good because like you usually have like your email open and it's like a red indicator that when stuff comes in, but you also don't want that interruption of like everyone having.
You want the delay, I think.
Yeah. But you also want to keep checking it at a frequency. So I like that.
But for example, like I check the Tailwind Labs spam folder at least once a week. We only get like 2 or 3 legit emails, so it's not something I feel like I need to check every day. But once in a while I catch like a customer email that is like accidentally marked as spam.
Yeah. Very important that, like, penis enlargement email.
Yeah. That I definitely don't want to miss. But if I didn't have that as a recurring task, I would forget it.
Yeah.
My email I probably wouldn't forget, but I also don't want to check it all the time. I just want to feel like I know if I've checked it, something is going to remind me to check it again later, so I don't feel like I have to check it all the time.
That makes very good sense. I think it's good.
Yeah, it's just a fun little idea. Maybe I'll build it. I think I'm going to focus on like templates for Card Creator first.
Oh, yeah.
Just because it's, I don't know, more real.
I think for stuff like the email chore thing, like the real value is going to come from you building it, sharing about building it, linking back to your profile, and it's
Yeah.
almost only like a marketing project for your own self.
Yeah, and then
Because
that's
like there's
actually
some things that you just can't. It doesn't make sense to charge for it, but there's
No.
a whole bunch of value in both building it like internally for you to the things that you learn on the way, but also it pointing back to you, and you can turn it into content. Peter, you can turn
That's
it into
actually
content.
how I thought about it. If you noticed, like, because I thought my first thought was like, oh, I should probably have like an early access list if I'm actually building this. And I was like, screw that. I hate early access lists, and I hate like having to email those people. It's like, no, if you're interested in this, just follow me on X or Blue Sky, and then you'll probably hear unless I share a link to it directly. If I do it the right way, you'll probably hear about it. Maybe.
Too. Also, when you bring in other people, you can't follow your own sense of the product, only. You have to take in other people's opinions as well. Like you suddenly have users. When it's like this is a thing that I built for myself,
of the people,
and I'm going to use it. Go ahead.
No, just like a lot of the people I saw, like sort of like saying that they like the idea, were people I know have like ADHD.
yeah. I think maybe you should just
there is something there.
Amphetamine medicine ads on it instead. Ritalin subscription ads, and then that's gonna be the business instead.
Yeah. So I think that's my update.
All right. Well, that's it for the first Denglish version of this still to be named. No, I think it's fine.
I thought it was kind of cute.
Yeah. Look at them trying. Oh, so cute. Danish boys with their
Instead of
glasses
30
and their
listeners,
hats.
we're gonna have 60 maybe.
Yeah, I think we can keep on doing it, but we need a name. That's the most pressing issue. I think we should just use the same feed. This is like back office talk, but just use the same feed, same YouTube thing. Call it S2, and then change the name to something that we.
So
agree
the name
on.
in Danish was also like sort of like risky,
a reference,
because it's a TV show.
Yeah,
it's a kids' TV show from
also
when
from
our parents
the 90s.
were kids. From the
when
70s.
Your parents were kids? No. It's from when I was a kid. It's like 84.
I thought it was from the 70s.
So
were you a kid in 84?
No. I'm born in 86, but I almost forgot that.
No. But I thought it was from the 70s.
But no, it's not.
Looks super old.
That old, no.
Dude, the 80s were a long time ago, granted.
True. But still, they're coming back, Peter.
So it's 40 years old.
Yeah, that's wild. I think, some of the actors are still alive. We'll talk about this later. Nice seeing you. We have to find a name and talk to you next week, I guess.
See you.
All right, bye.